How Lisa Vanderpump's husband and daughter are supporting her today. Vanderpump Rules boss Lisa Vanderpump, her husband Ken Todd, and their daughter Pandora Vanderpump Sabo love their dogs and love devoting themselves to a good cause. In fact, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum, Ken and Pandora, came together with their foundation, the Vanderpump Dog Foundation, recently to host the 8th Annual World Dog Day in West Hollywood. During the event, held last month, they showed off their best outfits in Lisa's favorite color, pink, alongside the Vanderpump Dog Foundation team in a video posted to Instagram. In the video, Lisa can be seen wearing a pink cowboy hat, while Pandora, the vice president and director of the Vanderpump Dog Foundation, danced in front of the camera while wearing the cutest hot pink scarf with dogs scattered across it. Ken appeared at the end of the video, where he held a bucket in one hand and their dog, Donut, in the other. The foundation took to the caption of the post, where they declared World Dog Day 2025 to be the best day ever. LVP and Ken Todd celebrate the growth of the Vanderpump Dog Foundation. A big part of Ken and Lisa's relationship is their love for animals. They founded the Vanderpump Dog Foundation in 2016 with the goal of improving the well-being of dogs around the world. Their continued devotion to all dogs, not just their own, has created a lasting impact and is reflected in the smiles on their faces. Ken looked so happy at the event as he held on tightly to Donut and smiled widely. In another photo, Ken and Lisa can be seen smiling for the camera alongside Donut in their matching pink and blue hats. Lisa remarked on the growth of the foundation in a press release for the event. "We've been able to do so much for dog rescue since we launched the Vanderpump Dog Foundation. This year will hopefully surpass our goal of 3,000 dogs rescued in the LA area, with thousands more helped internationally," Lisa said. "It's events like this that help us shine a light on the neglect our furry friends can face and allow us to raise the funds and awareness to do everything we can to create a better world for them," she added. Inside Ken Todd and Lisa Vanderpump's marriage today. Lisa spoke with Briefing on Bravo in April, where she revealed that she feels bad for anybody whose marriage has to go through divorce. "I imagine how painful that must be," she noted. "I think I'd have to bump Ken off rather than divorce him," she joked. Lisa Vanderpump opens up about being a grandma to Pandora's kids. When she's not busy with her career and marriage to Ken, she's also a dedicated grandma to Pandora's two sons, Teddy and Grayson. Grayson was born in February 2025. During a recent Instagram Q&A session, Pandora offered an update on how Lisa had adjusted to life as a grandma, sharing, "Pretty sure she would like to sit here like this every day and never stop biting them and squishing them. She spoils them." A heart full of pause, how Lisa Vanderpump's family is supporting her today. The Pink Parade. The early summer sun beamed over West Hollywood as Lisa Vanderpump adjusted her pink cowboy hat, the wide brim casting a soft shadow over her eyes. Her heels clicked purposefully against the sidewalk as she walked with poise through the bustling streets closed off for the annual World Dog Day event. All around her were pink banners fluttering in the wind, paw prints painted on the pavement, and the delighted barks of hundreds of dogs reverberating in the air. But Lisa's eyes weren't scanning the crowd for press or posing for fans, not at that moment. They were searching for something deeper, affirmation that this day, this cause, still mattered. And it did. Standing just beyond the press zone, her husband Ken Todd hoisted Donut, an adorably fluffy rescue dog, into the crook of his arm while holding a donation bucket in his other hand. His expression beamed with the pride of a man who knew his wife had turned compassion into an empire. Their daughter, Pandora Vanderpump Sabo, twirled in front of a phone camera, filming a video for social media. The scarf she wore fluttered in sync with her laughter, a bright pink accessory covered in doodles of dogs. "It wasn't just cute, it was symbolic," She, like her mother, had wrapped herself in purpose. Lisa caught sight of them and smiled, not for the cameras, not for the crowd, but for the truth of it all. Her family was with her, still, always. Roots of love and rescue. When Lisa and Ken began the Vanderpump Dog Foundation back in 2016, they weren't trying to build an empire. They were reacting to cruelty, to indifference, and to the silence surrounding the abuse and neglect of dogs around the world. One dog rescued is one heart mended. Lisa had once said to Pandora during a late-night planning session. That was the seed. Now, 9 years later, the tree had grown tall. The foundation had rescued nearly 3,000 dogs in the LA area alone, with international efforts in places like China and South Korea turning global tragedy into hope. Every wagging tail at World Dog Day was a testament to that work. But this year's event carried a deeper resonance. Lisa had been quieter lately, not withdrawn, but pensive. There were whispers in the media about whether she'd take a step back from the show, from business, from the limelight. Yet here she was, dressed head to toe in pink, with her family beside her, rallying the community again. Ken, the quiet strength, Ken Todd, now in his late 70s, wore a pastel blue fedora that matched Donut's tiny ribbon. His arm never left the dog's side, even as he greeted guests, posed for pictures, and whispered affectionate nothings to Lisa when no one was watching. Their marriage had survived decades, fame, business battles, heartbreaks, and high society drama. It had also survived the quieter things, the daily stress, the misunderstandings, and the unsaid griefs they sometimes shared only with a glass of wine at midnight. I think I'd have to bump Ken off rather than divorce him, Lisa joked in a recent interview. But everyone who truly knew them knew there was real sentiment beneath the humor. Ken wasn't just her husband, he was her co-pilot in life's most personal battles. He saw when Lisa was tired. He knew when she masked anxiety with an extra joke or buried stress beneath glitter and charm. So when she began doubting whether she still had the stamina to fight for animal welfare on such a global scale, Ken hadn't told her what to do. He'd simply been there, with Donut in one hand and Lisa's unspoken fear in the other. Pandora's legacy. Pandora Vanderpump Sabo was never one for the cameras in the way her mother was. She preferred spreadsheets to stilettos, planning galas over walking red carpets. But don't mistake her quieter style for lesser ambition. As vice president and director of the Vanderpump Dog Foundation, Pandora had turned her mother's dream into a sustainable, structured organization. She streamlined rescue operations, implemented educational outreach programs, and built social media strategies that connected with millions. Yet, her biggest success wasn't in numbers, it was in heart. When Pandora became a mother to Teddy in 2021, and then again in February 2025 to baby Grayson, many wondered if she'd step away from the foundation. Instead, she brought them in, both her children and her new role as a mom. I think she wants to squish and spoil them forever, Pandora once said in a candid Instagram Q&A, referring to Lisa's obsession with her grandsons. She's the kind of grandma who would cancel meetings just to feed them one more bottle. Lisa had embraced grandmotherhood with the same flair she brought to her restaurants and her rescue events. Her phone wallpaper was a rotating slideshow of Teddy's giggles and Grayson's tiny fingers curled around her own. This year, she even joked that World Dog Day might have some competition. Teddy's birthday bash is becoming a serious rival. She laughed to a friend as she handed out pink frosted dog biscuits. A difficult season. Behind the smiles and sparkle, Lisa was navigating a quieter grief. She wouldn't speak of it often, but those closest to her knew. A longtime friend had passed. A former pet had fallen ill. A project she poured her soul into had hit funding hurdles. And there were rumors, always swirling, about a potential closure of one of her La restaurants. The pressures were real. Fame didn't dull them, it amplified them. One evening in April, Lisa sat alone on her rose-draped patio, sipping from a crystal glass when Ken joined her. "You still carry so much," he said, no preamble. She didn't deny it. "I don't know if I want to keep pushing," she admitted. He didn't tell her what to do. He simply said, "If you ever stop, we stop together. But only if it's really what you want, not what you're afraid of." That moment, that quiet kind of love, was what kept Lisa going. Pink hats, real hope. Back at World Dog Day, Lisa stood on stage as a sea of pink spread before her. Hats, scarves, paw-printed dresses, and proud rescue dogs wiggling excitedly. Pandora held Grayson nearby, bouncing gently as Teddy clutched a balloon shaped like donut. Ken stood beside Lisa, hand resting lightly on her back. Microphone in hand, Lisa spoke. Her voice, elegant and crisp, cracked just slightly as she addressed the crowd. "When we started this foundation, it was out of anger. Anger at injustice. Anger at cruelty. But what we found was love. So much love. From the dogs we rescued, from the people who support us, and most of all, from my family." She paused, eyes shining.